Alright,
All right.
we gotta do the picks. Got a little bit of time. So let's start it over again, Bill. We'll speak a
All
little
right.
opinion, but not too much this time.
All right. It's the Indy Colts and Tennessee Titans.
I've said it. I want a surprise win. Titans.
And
Go. Okay, go.
I want the Andrew Luck led Indy Colts because of amazing offense.
Next game.
New York Jets at Buffalo Bills.
It's gonna. As much as I think the Bills could try and do something, I want to say the Jets can get it, and I want the Jets to win. They're doing really good with Geno Smith, despite people's bad opinions at the very beginning.
And I really don't know which team's going to show up. So I'm going to say the more consistent team that shows up is the Jets, and I'm picking the Jets.
Next game.
Okay. Atlanta Falcons at Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I want to see the Bucks pull off a surprise. Just make the Falcons in more shame. You lose to a previously unwinnable team. That's just shame.
And through deductive reasoning, I've found out that the Buccaneers have no defense, and I think they're gonna go 1-15. I'm going with the Atlanta Falcons.
Understand.
Next up is the Detroit Lions and Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh, again, it's gonna be a rough. I think it's gonna be a rough, gritty game. Not as gritty as it would have been if the Steelers were back to their old selves. Because then I wouldn't think the Lions would win. But I'm gonna have to say, the Lions are gonna come out with a pretty good lead.
Yeah, I think the Lions are going to win this game. It's going to be amazing because, for totally biased reasons.
That, and again, Steelers aren't who they used to be, and that's just gonna haunt them for a while.
Yup. Alright. Washington Redskins at the Philadelphia Eagles.
Classic NFC East rivalry. RG3 versus an underdog. One of the, I think, two only big underdog versus pro games this week. But I'm going to say Nick Foles is going to do good. But I agree with what you said in the last failed recording. High-scoring game. Go.
Yeah.
Your turn.
Foles versus RG3. No team is going to play defense. I say 63-55. Eagles will win.
Oh, it's going to be the highest scoring game of the season. Because
Yep.
I think so far that goes to the Broncos-Cowboys game.
Yeah, it was 51-48.
Yeah, near 100. Go.
Next up, Arizona at the Jacksonville Jaguars.
If the Jacksonville Jaguars win against the Cardinals, I will be very disappointed in the Texans. So I want the Cardinals to win, so I don't feel that guilt and shame.
Oh, man. And I am going with Arizona, although I do think Carson Palmer's going to throw 4 picks to the Jacksonville Jaguars defense.
I think one of those 4 picks, if they're all true, will be a pick 6.
If most likely, he has a habit of wanting to target the other team.
Next.
Okay. Next up, the Oakland Raiders and Houston Texans.
If the Texans lose to the Raiders, and I like the Raiders, but I don't want them to win. I want the Texans to win, because if they don't win this game, they don't deserve a playoff spot at all. They would be done for the season. The most they could do is try to balance their record. But you don't want to be forced to that position, so for that, Texans, it's really their last chance. They can't afford to lose any more games. Do or die from here on out. And that's not even a guarantee. Your turn.
I agree. The Texans are going to come out and they're going to win this game. And the Raiders, I really feel sorry for you. I really, really do. 14 different coaches in 6 years is a hard thing to get through.
Yeah, one thing to note. Remember, we thought that the Texans were going to easily beat the shit out of the Rams, but as you saw with this game, and especially the Colts game, that it's more than meets the eye. So I can only say, do not underestimate any team, despite their losing record, win or lose record.
All right.
Next time.
Next up, Baltimore Ravens, Chicago Bears.
Oh, I feel this is a division. I keep getting my high school terms mixed up with the NFL, but I think the Bears are going to come out on top. I don't like the Ravens, so bias reasons, but I think the Bears can take them out.
in a totally biased reason, I am picking the Ravens because I want the Bears to slide down in the division and the Lions winning.
Of course.
Okay, so next up, the Cleveland Browns and the Cincinnati Bengals.
Iconic division rivalry. This is one of them. And I think it's going to go to the Browns. I think the Bengals are going to give them time, but I think that the Browns are going to come out.
And I'm going with the Bengals, although I can see how the Browns are going to win. I think the Bengals are just have a little bit more, and Browns' defense is legit, but Bengals just have just a tad bit more.
I can understand that. Next one.
Next up, San Diego Chargers at Miami Dolphins.
I think it's going to be a tough game, but Dolphins are going to come out barely on top. It might be like that last score, like a last-second win, maybe.
I'm picking the Chargers because they have the veteran quarterback in Phillip Rivers and just a slightly better team. Next up is the Green Bay Packers at New York Giants.
As much as I want the Giants to lose, so the better the Cowboys' odds. And I don't want them to keep their winning streak. Without Rodgers, they don't have as much of a chance. So, I want the Giants. I'm going to have to say the Giants are going to win, and Victor Cruz is going to do that salsa dance. I can hear you breathing.
I am going with 3 salsa dances by Victor Cruz and the Giants for totally selfish reasons.
I don't like the Giants, but I just like Cruz. He's Mexican dance. It appeals to me because I'm totally not Hispanic.
Next up, the Minnesota Vikings at the Seattle Seahawks.
Oh, God, it's not going to happen. I say the Seahawks are going to win, but honestly, I want to be wrong. Okay, that's all I can say.
The Seattle Seahawks are going to slaughter the Minnesota Vikings at home. I don't see how the Vikings are going to win.
I'd like an upset, though. I wouldn't.
Next up, San Fran 49ers at the New Orleans Saints.
Oh. Why do I see this as a rivalry for some reason? I don't know why. Oh, this is going to be interesting. I don't like either team, but I think Drew Brees is just going to wreck them.
A really good defense and no quarterback for the 49ers against a really good defense and a future Hall of Famer quarterback in the Saints. So I'm going with the Saints, but the 49ers could go right back to the Super Bowl, and defense can carry them.
Yeah.
Okay, Kansas City at Denver.
Oh, this is Sunday Night Football. This is going to be one of those games of the century. Not as big as Peyton at Indy, but Jesus Christ, this is going to be an interesting one. I think Broncos are the only ones, as of right now, as of this recording, the only team that could possibly dethrone the 49ers, the Chiefs, of their perfect record. And I want that to happen. I don't like the Broncos, but I'd rather them win over the Chiefs. Chiefs should lose that title because the only reason they're winning is because their defense is making pick sixes and fumbles all day. So for that, Broncos.
The Chiefs have barely been winning the last few weeks.
So they're losing it.
And the Broncos have Peyton Manning, and I never go against Peyton Manning. I've never picked against Peyton Manning. I'm going with the Denver Broncos.
Understandable, and I'm
and
for that.
Monday night game, the New England Patriots at the Carolina Panthers.
Oh God, this is the other pro quarterback versus the newcomer. Cam Newton's really not a newcomer. This isn't his first year, right?
No, it's his third.
Yeah, but this is really his first that he's shining.
No, his first year he was shining too.
Really? But I think their record was still bad. I don't know. But they're doing really well this time, so I think for this year, I can't tell you who's going to win this. It's hard to say, but my gut's telling me Panthers are going to come out of it somehow, some way. It's going to be a miracle. I detect a miracle working for the Panthers. But I don't mind if I'm wrong, because I do like the Patriots. So even though I have to vote against them, I think the Panthers are barely going to come out of it. Somehow.
I'm a big Patriots fan, and that's coming from a Detroit kid, but I'm going to say the Carolina Panthers because their defense is just that good.
Yeah, look at the San Fran game.
And with that,
We're done.
we are done.
Any closing comments, Bill? Any last words you want to speak that you...
I love watching football, and I love watching every team play. It's an amazing sport, and, can't wait to maybe do this again next week, eh?
I really hope we can get a third person. Bill, we need to find someone that could do that. For me, my final comments... Again, it's up to the Texans. And the Cowboys are, again, at that point. For the upteenth time, even though they're on bye, I still like to make a note of this. From here on out, the same thing goes for them. They're shaping their own destiny. They have the potential. The Broncos game proved that. So, for both the Texans and the Cowboys, it's up to them whether they make it to the playoffs or not. And with that said, I'm gone. So, Bill, say goodbye. You gotta say later.
Peace out, everybody.
And I'll say it later as well. And remember, things are only gonna get better from here.